Sheathe your sword, elf. I'm here to talk. Bow low. You stand before a head crowned. That of Demavend, king of Aedirn by the grace of the gods, sovereign of the Pontar Valley, and so on.
And you are?
A friend to non-humans. I have an offer.
Speak quickly and to the point. The Arrakis will soon return, and I'd rather know all before then.
I can add several more heads to this one. Each crowned.
Go on.
Foltest to start with. I barely escaped in Aedirn. I'll need help. Access to your hideouts and maps of your secret trails. And the support of the Scoia'tael. I want no gold and have no interest in the killer's fame.
Then why do you wish them dead?
It's a long story. Your beast nabbed his neck. Time to go. Do we have a deal, elf?
Flotsam should be just beyond the point. We'll take the beach.
Who's we?
You and me. Reconnaissance.
I'm coming too.
You should stay behind. We can't be sure of the reception we'll get.
Precisely why I won't let you go alone. Someone's got to look after you.
Where are we?
In a forest?
Very funny. But who does it belong to?
Yorveth, maybe? I know more about the Pontar Valley than you think. For instance, I know that Foltest stole this land from Demavend a few years back. I believe you had a hand in that?
That's...
Vernon Roche, Special Forces Commander for the last 4 years, servant of the Temerian King, responsible for the pacification of the Mahakaman foothills, hunter of elves, murderer of women and children. Twice decorated for valor on the field of battle.
Yorveth, a regular son of a whore!
I've long awaited our meeting. Laid plans, set traps, and now you appear in my forest of your own volition.
You aided the man who slew my king.
King or beggar, what's the difference? One Dwan less.
We need him alive. Know any useful spells?
Get his attention. I need to focus.
I'll try.
Climb down and we'll finish this. I await.
Ha! You're a man without honor, Vernon Roche. An insect I'll not duel, but one that I will crush.
Seems like you spout the same old elven drivel.
What do you mean, Witcher?
I've seen your kind before. Proud and shay, sneaking around forests. Helpless, yet masking that with acts of increasing cruelty.
I helped kill Roche's king. You call that helpless? Or would you call me a terrorist? No one will grant us our freedom, Witcher. We must win it for ourselves.
You're just another old elf in a young elf's skin, using clever words to mask an obvious truth.
Obvious, you say?
This is not about race or freedom, or even vengeance. You're here because someone powerful told you to be. Someone who's using you. They may wear a crown, carry a magic wand, or even lead a guild. But be sure of this. It's not about your freedom, your rights, or your ears. Nilfgaard plowed you once. Now someone new does. Am I wrong?
Those times are gone. No one will ever use the Scoia'tael again.
Who are you addressing? Me? Yourself? Or the archers in those shrubs?
Triss, now!
support!
That ought to discourage them. Triss, are you all right?
Lovely.
You should have charmed the archers. They're coming.
You know each other?
Rather well, but he has amnesia. I actually took the Witcher by surprise when I killed Foltest. Fear not, Elf. I know Geralt. I know his weakness.
Too many spells at once. You can die from that.
See that?
Yeah, the Kingslayer and Yorvith.
You all in one piece? Who are you?
I'm a Witcher.
Emir var Emrys, spice merchant.
A trader?
In spices.
Uh-huh. And the woman?
My good man, we barely escaped death. Be so kind as to tell us where we might get some rest. We'll explain everything later.
Very well. Head for the market square. You might be in time for the execution. Some ne'er-do-wells are going to hang. A dwarf and some bard. There's also an inn and a brothel.
Oh yeah, the brothel sounds especially interesting. Take care now.
Zoltan. Dandelion.
My informer.
Just great.
What's the plan?
We improvise.
No killing.
We'll take care of this, Triss.
Geralt! Geralt! Over here! Help!
Step back, White One.
What are they going to hang for? They don't look dangerous.
The charge is collusion with the Scoia'tael.
Dandelion, an elven spy?
The bard's hanging for debauchery.
What?
The sentence was he's to hang for debauchery.
And a sentence is nothing to scoff at!
Are you serious? Listen here, people. Is profligacy now a punishable offense in the free kingdom of Temeria? Or are we in Nilfgaard?
Piss off, freak! Or you'll have me to deal with. Think of the common folk, you're spoiling their fun.
Well, a freak he may be, but he speaks true. Debauchery's one of my favourite pastimes, but I don't want a noose placed around my neck for pursuing it.
The soldier boys paid us a visit or two, though we didn't have much fun.
Away with you, Margot! Go back to your brothel!
Time to go? Fine. But hear this, people. He sure liked to parade about, but his Willie wouldn't come to attention. Ha!
Stop the execution.
Shut your trap! The singer's to hang and he will hang. This is a decent town. Whores and witches notwithstanding.
Watch your words, guardsman! I don't know witches, but Margot's a decent woman!
Shut it, all of you! Or I'll not vouch for what I'll do!
Thinks he's tough, showing off his balls. But don't fret, people. I've seen the rot on them.
I'm warning you for the last time, Margot!
You wouldn't hit a lady.
You're no lady!
What the hell is going on here? I said, what the arse fuck is going on? I'd like to report. Out of my sight, Clover. A few ploughing bandits and you can't even hang them. And you, stay calm, hands off your sword. Our scaffold embraces speeches and hangings. Which will it be?
Your people started it. Short fuses, some of them.
What do I care? They started, but you finished.
I had to defend my friends. Will you release them?
Terrible choice of friends, Witcher. I'd rather give you a thief. Relax. I'm joking. I hate thieves. We can put on another show. Bloody and serious this time, mind you. Or we can come to an understanding.
Meaning?
Give me a minute, Witcher. Listen here. You may have heard rumours of the tragic events that transpired during the siege of La Valette Castle. Sadly, they are true. King Foltest is dead. It's likely that Scoia'tael had a hand in this heinous murder. So you see, none of you can feel safe. That is why today, wagons with armaments will roll out into Flotsam's streets. I hereby declare a state of emergency. Await orders. Prepare to fight. And ready yourselves to avenge your fallen king. Now disperse. Go to your homes.
What about them?
They'll not hang for now. Let's say I'm reconsidering their cases. The scaffold's no place for civil conversation. We'll talk at my home. Your friends are free for the time being, but they're not to leave town. Come after dusk. I'll be busy till then. There's one more thing. Welcome to Flotsam, Witcher.
They were really going to hang us. I don't know. I didn't mean to torch that watchtower.
Everything's all right, Dandelion. Let's get out of here.
Oh, we owe you, Geralt. Thank you. Time to hit the tavern. Come on, Dandelion, you need a stiff drink. And while we're at it, I'll tell you an edifying tale of local hypocrisy that conceals lechery neath a veneer of courtesy. Except nothing can hide the stench.
Are you Geralt of Rivia, sir?
Who's asking?
Thank you, Master, for what you did outside La Valette Castle.
Our family would have perished if not for you. Please accept this modest gift.
Thank you.
May the gods protect you.
Greetings! What brings you here, White Wolf? Make yourself at home, please.
Do we know each other?
I've heard, or rather read much about you, in the letters of the Rivian diaspora.
Well, nice to meet you.
Einar Gausel, fundamentally a trader in old curios, although I also concern myself with the non-human community.
Books in Flotsam? I wouldn't have thought it a profitable enterprise.
Hey, many foreigners come through here. Sometimes they buy books, sometimes they have tomes to sell. Yesterday, for example, Lady Sheila de Tanseville purchased items for a sum equal to my yearly dealings.
Did she buy anything interesting?
De Vermis Mysteries, the Exeter Treatise, complete and unabridged, plus a very expensive volume I'd rather not mention. I should add, as generosity must be praised, that she made a donation to the community, specifically to the Fund for Widows and Orphans.
The non-humans in Flotsam are organized?
We aren't, but we aid each other as best we can. I mainly collect taxes and announce the Commandant's dispositions.
That'd make you a prime target for Yorvith.
You're correct on that account. He's warned me many times, and I've explained the need for my function to him just as many. Both in vain. It seems we've agreed to disagree. Well, the sword is his calling, the pen is mine. Hence, no meeting of the minds. It wasn't always this hard. Turned sour when several elven lassies disappeared. We lost our trust in the humans, and the Scoia'tael ceased trust in us.
Did they turn up? The women?
No. I believe Neckers killed them. I remember Morrill of the White Hands. She and her lover made a beautiful pair.
Damn, that was close! Innkeep! Vodka!
Triss Marigold! Lice eat me, but you are a treat to behold. Just a little pale.
Magic takes its toll, but I'll be all right. Good to see you and your beard again.
Can somebody tell me what happened? You set off a month ago for Zoltan's wedding.
That got fucked. There will be no wedding.
Did you hear about Foltest?
Rumors travel faster than the wind.
Winds and rumors. I want to know the truth.
I want to know how Foltest died. And the dragon, was there really one there? And who rules Temeria now?
Dandelion, calm down. You'll choke on your liquor. No wedding, Zoltan.
The Breckenrigs broke off the engagement because some limp prick put it about that I joined the uprising in Vizima. My would-be Popper-in-law refused to let a rebel firebrand join the family. Innkeep, where's our drink?
It was like this. We got to Mahakam a week after the Grand Master died. Bought Zoltan an absolutely grand doublet, a pair of Garibaldi Krakau's, and as a gift for Eudora, a jadestone as big as my fist.
You were broke as a joke by the time Dandelion threw me a bachelor party at an establishment called the Tight Lane.
Next day, we went over to the Breckenrigs. They welcomed us in, sat us down, and proceeded to discuss the superiority of Mahakaman mining know-how over any other. And that went on until dinner. Just when I thought I'd learned more than I ever wanted to know about mining, they served the soup.
You could have held a pen drop. Old Breckenrig rose and he says, "A real dwarf works a mine, not chases fame on the battlefield."
You'll never believe this, Geralt, but they served duck blood soup. It was as black as tar. They must have dropped lumps of coal into the pot.
"Eat," Breckenrig says, then proceeded to slurp 2 full bowls of the shite. Old goat. Hope his mind caves in on his head.
Laredo said you're working with the Scoia'tael, Zoltan.
I have done many things in my life, Geralt, but I have never stooped to banditry.
The Scoia'tael don't consider themselves bandits.
But I am no Scoia'tael.
The dragon, well, the dragon appeared, and that's all I know.
But where did the Lavalettes get a dragon? We heard it fought on their side, huge as a barn, they say.
Dragons don't usually take sides. Maybe its lair was nearby and it just felt threatened.
If you hadn't driven it off, Foltest might not have taken the castle.
Maybe. We'll never know for sure. Since when have you worked for Roach?
Hey, nobody said a word when you went out to save Temeria from the Grand Master and his mutants.
Relax, Dandelion. I was just asking. Do what you want. You're an adult, kind of.
That wasn't very supportive.
Laugh away. At least I decided to do something constructive.
You used to spy for Redania. Now you're spying for Temeria. Some might call you a traitor.
Ever tried to live off of poetry alone? The truth is, I'm a citizen of the world. As long as I don't serve Emperor Emir, I'm not doing any harm.
Leave him be, Geralt. He'll play the spy a bit, get bored, and drop it. You know how he is.
Triss, you're the expert on Temeria. Tell us who's in charge now.
It's chaotic and getting worse. The old families are fighting for supremacy, no holds barred.
Baron Kimbolt and Count Marivel, I bet.
Among others. After the assassination, while Geralt was in the dungeon, the lords convened in a field near Lavalette Castle to choose a new ruler. 3 days they debated, and it looked more like a bazaar than a meeting of nobles. Except the trade was in court and ministry positions, spheres of influence, royal privileges.
Humans.
In spite of several duels and 2 poisonings, no king was chosen. Civil war was in the air.
Where were the mages?
Aye. Where were the grey eminences of this world when they were truly needed?
They weren't invited. Neither was I. But if not for their intervention, or rather that of a few influential sorceresses, Baron Kimbolt would have taken the throne.
I was invited to sing at his court once. Afterwards, he refused to pay me, and the food was awful. No way I'll stay in Temeria if he's crowned.
Did they ultimately resolve anything?
No. It ended as usual. Sadly, John Natalis remains our only hope.
Ah, the victor at Brenna, and Foltest's most tried and true field commander.
During the deliberations, he was several days' march from Lavalette lands. with an additional 2,000 armed men in tow. He's to keep the peace until a rightful monarch is chosen.
He could find that ruling is to his liking.
Natalis is a soldier at heart. He's not suited to rule, and I don't believe he even wants to.
He's got the army behind him.
Which is why he can guarantee peace. Why, a tenuous one, sure, but that's always better than civil war. Besides which, he's deeply in debt to a dwarven bank in which Philippa Eilhart as sorceress holds a significant stake.
I think I've heard enough about politics. Foltest's killer lay in wait in the tower, where the Lavalettes had hidden the royal bastards. He was well informed.
Wait a minute, what were you doing there?
I was protecting the king. After the first attempt, Foltest began treating me as his lucky charm. He ordered me to be at his side during the battle. The dragon separated us from the rest of the army. The killer disguised himself as a monk, a blind one at that. He let Foltest greet his children, waited until I had walked off, then cut the king's throat from ear to ear.
How did he flee?
Jumped out a window into the river below. Yorva the Scoia'tael were waiting in a boat. It was planned.
And you're chasing him because he murdered the king?
I was accused of the murder. I need to clear my name. Besides, I looked him in the eye before he escaped. He's a witcher. Then some brave Temerian soldiers showed up, piled on me, and knocked me out.
Save yourselves, good folk! The beast attacks!
We better get out there. Someone's casting spells.
What sort of sorceress are you? A lot of good you did. Can't you hear me? Why didn't you help him?
He's alive, isn't he?
The beast nearly pulled him in the water while you stood staring like a calf at a shit-covered clover.
Watch your words.
Where's this beast?
Ask her.
Geralt.
Ah, I guess we knew each other.
Oh, look here. Birds of a feather.
Let's say I've heard of you.
Master Witcher, this is foolish. The beast near pulled Sozek into the depths, and you're simply chatting with this damsel.
All right. What happened?
I came to Flotsam to kill the Kayran.
Kayran?
The monster that has effectively blocked the port. A moment ago, I had the good fortune to see it in all its splendor, but the local folk scared it away.
Good fortune? You hear that, Sozek? That was some good fortune for you.
Why's the beast in the port all of a sudden, eh? Summoned by the witch, perchance?
To see it in all its splendor.
Sozek doesn't look too good. Lay him inside somewhere.
Right, we've dawdled enough already. Come on, lads, let's go.
What's this? I was ready for a rumble there.
Shut it, and come on.
I apologize for interrupting, but I am Louis Merce, and I am chief person in charge of all matters related to monster hunting in Flotsam. It is in this capacity that I must inquire if you're willing to attempt to resolve the problem of our so-called Kayran, the beast that now blocks all trade traffic on the river.
So, Witcher, are we willing?
I usually work alone.
I was here first, and I'll not relinquish this contract. My way or the highway, as the locals put it.
Fine. Your way it is.
You must contact the merchants on the waterfront as regards any rewards. Madame de Tanseville has, I believe, already conducted some preliminary negotiations.
That I have.
In that case, don't let me keep you.
Triss, how long must I wait for you to introduce us?
Sheila de Tanserville, advisor to Queen Zulika of Kovir.
Kovir's a long way north.
True. I had my doubts if the Kayran was worth the journey, but those were dispelled with what it showed today.
Here to hunt down some ingredients?
Triss Merigold. Sharp as ever.
You're thinking that...
Troll eyes, ghoul venom, virgin's blood, all those disgusting marvels we take from dying species, to throw into the cauldron at Sabbaths. Right, Triss?
Absolutely. Virgins are a dying breed.
Oh my. Your sense of humour seems to be intact too. But enough of these pleasantries. Tell me, Geralt, you saw the tentacle. What do you make of it all?
The beast must be huge. Maybe inhabited one of the Pontar's tributaries before, hunting animals. Then it grew for some reason, and hunger drove it to seek fresh pastures.
And on the Pontar it found trade barges burgeoning with obese, slow-moving merchants. You're partly correct. Cedric claims the Kayran emerged from the northern swamps approximately 1 month past.
Cedric?
An elf. Formerly a Scoia'tael. Strange bird. But he knows quite a bit about the area and its living wonders.
I need to look around, find out a few things.
An investigation. Witches' rituals, extracting secrets and such.
More or less. I'll talk to the merchants about the reward, pay Cedric a visit and get back to you.
You'll find me at the inn. I've rented lodgings there, on the upper floor.
You know the inn's also a whorehouse.
Thanks for the warning.
What do you want?
Heard you have a problem.
If only we had just one. Highways washed out, forests full of bandits, a river beast blocks the port, and tolls at a rise.
Can't help with the tolls, but the monster's a possibility.
A sorceress said the same, but we've yet to see any results.
She's asked me to work with her.
And who's to pay your wage?
That's what I'm here to discuss.
The sorceress was to manage alone. You can split that reward if you wish.
Well, we're managing it together now, so as I see it, you should double the reward.
You jest!
You'll double what you offered Lady de Tanzerville, because that's what the contract's worth.
So be it. I assume you to be professionals and worth every last copper paid to you.
It's a deal. Now tell me what you know about the beast.
You're the Witcher, damn it! I've no knowledge of these things.
Who could tell me more?
That ploughing elf, Cedric, most probably. He's supposed to know all about monsters.
Where can I find him?
In the village, outside the walls. Now leave me be.
Where might you be going?
What kind of question is that? Anyway, know where I can find an elf named Cedric?
Don't get involved in this.
You did turn pale when we met Sheila.
You must have imagined that.
I know you too well.
Sheila's one of the most powerful sorceresses.
That's no reason to fear her.
She can't be trusted, in my experience. I know her to be devious and manipulative.
Any proof?
She's well aware you lost your memory, yet pretended she didn't know.
Now, why would she do that?
I don't know. Her true intentions have always been hard to fathom.
I'll see if I can't learn what they are.
How?
I'll go hunting with her, right after I find Cedric.
Well, then let's go see him. He should be at the top of his observation tower.
In Belk. It'll be nearly a year now.
Moril would delight in a day like this, Saharan. Enjoy the memory of her. Don't wallow in the longing.
I try. I do. But I cannot believe all the bad blood this disappearance has bred.
Don't let others' shay poison your memory of her. Hatred is but an outlet for helplessness.
Thank you, Cedric. Vafael.
Vafael.
Are you Cedric?
Who asks?
Geralt of Rivia.
Ah, the Witcher. And?
Triss Merigold.
Lovely scent, Triss.
Cedric, look at me.
What do you want, Geralt of Rivia?
I need to make a few orens. You wouldn't happen to have a job for a Witcher, would you?
There's never a shortage of work for a Witcher in this forest. It's positively teeming with beasts. Though I'm not surprised they come here in droves.
Know why that is?
Cursed places attract all sorts of scum, like dung attracts flies. There was once a great house in the clearing. They locked up lunatics there. During the war with Nilfgaard, it was raised in a fire. The lunatics broiled in their cells. The ruins remain cursed to this day. 2 daredevils went off to explore the ruins recently. They haven't been seen since.
A great house, you say. Tell me more about the building itself.
It was an old manor house that was converted into a mental institution. There was no shortage of lunatics in wartime. They just kept coming. Reverend Mercier locked them up in there and looked after them. If you find the 2 people lost in the ruins of the mental asylum, you stand to be handsomely rewarded. By them or their families.
No harm in trying. I'm looking to hunt in this area, and I could use some advice.
I'm no witcher. I set traps, snares, try to keep neckers away from Lobindon, that's all.
I'm aiming a little higher than neckers.
The old man? Meaning the Kayran? Finally, Laredo's splurged. Listen, I'm not one to teach your grandmother to suck eggs. You witchers know your work. But if you pay me, I can prepare a useful trap.
What kind of trap?
Puncturing trap, immobilizing trap, even decoys to pull monsters into an ambush. Whatever you like. Since I can easily finish off an ensnared necker, it should be child's play for you.
The elf woman you were talking about. How did she disappear?
Saharim believes the forest took her.
What do you believe?
Moril simply vanished, almost a year ago now. Some say she was too beautiful, and Dwarn must have harmed her.
You believe that?
If I have no evidence before me, I try to trust my feelings. And they tell me the forest did not take her.
Why would you keep that from Saharim?
Because it's meaningless. Perhaps she was murdered, perhaps she departed on her own, never to return. She's gone, and neither I nor Saharim can reverse that.
Who exactly are you?
One who warns humans against the dangers that lurk in the forest.
Care to clarify?
I am old, even for an elf. Yet the forest is older. I've lived in it for years and understand it, though it's nothing I can explain. At times, I make mistakes and people don't come home.
So you help humans?
I just know if it's safe to venture beyond the gates or not.
Maybe I'll come back when you're sober.
You witches live a long life. You may indeed get to see that day.
What are the Scoia'tael fighting for?
Do you ask about the old ones, who hoped to restore our race to its previous glory? Or about the young ones, who fight for survival and out of suicidal revenge?
Yorvith's warriors. Which mold do they fit?
They believe they are still independent, and that there is but one just way to view their cause. In truth, however, they're but a shadow of the Enshe's former glory. They cling to delusions to the very moment when a sword or a noose ends their life, or until they realize the truth themselves, which is, I believe, the worst.
I aim to kill the Kayran. Heard you might be able to help.
That depends on the sort of aid you seek.
I need information.
We should have killed it years ago. Now I don't know. The beast has become too large for the riverbed, and it has strange growths on its tentacles, extremely thick skin. Previously, it inhabited a swamp along one of the Pontar's tributaries. Completely wild terrain. Even the Scoia'tael don't venture there. You should go see the wreck of the boat it recently sank. Inspect any traces it's left. See the destruction.
Where's this wreck?
Venture south into the forest, then turn east toward the river. You'll find the ruins of a bridge erected long ago by the Enshe. The wreck lies at their foot.
Thanks, Cedric.
I wonder what's left of that wreck Cedric mentioned.
If the Kayran attacked the boat, it's not likely to be much. We're looking for traces of the beast, not boats. See those footprints?
Yeah, strange place for an evening walk.
Unless you're looking for adventure.
This monster's sick, Geralt. It's dying.
How much time does it have left?
A few years? Perhaps a decade and change?
Too long. What's wrong with it? Any information could be useful.
The diagnostic spell showed that some of the cells in its body have mutated.
What else?
The Kayran's highly venomous.
Any ideas for an antidote?
Your Witcher's metabolism should neutralize small doses of the toxin. But if I were you, I wouldn't rely on my mutations alone. An Ostmark potion should do the trick.
I know the herb, but haven't the faintest where I might find it around here. I need to figure out how I want to fight the Kayran. Maybe I won't need the potion.
Do what you will, but don't say I didn't warn you. Sheila might be eager to get this done, but before you go see her, ask some of the locals about Ostmark. You could try Cedric. Here's the formula for the potion. I need to take care of some things. Manage without me for a while? See you.
I know you. I can see you're dying to ask me. What is it?
All right, fess up. What happened to Foltest?
Want to know the version that is yet to make it to Flotsam? The king died in mysterious circumstances. The Witcher Geralt, his sword covered in blood, was discovered standing over his corpse.
Did you kill him? This'll stay between us, I promise.
The killer escaped before I could get him. I'm being set up.
So what are you gonna do? Run around swinging your sword hoping the killer walks into range?
I don't have to. The killer's in the forest with the Squirtle, and he knows I'm here. We'll find each other.
Geralt, please don't do anything stupid. Don't stick your neck out. If Loredo finds out you were involved in Foltest's assassination...
You gave Vernon a full report on Flotsam. Seen anything unusual around here?
They've got some amazing women at the brothel. You should take a look. One of them.
You know what I mean.
A town like any other. It's got a harbor, an inn, and a stinking muddy river. That's what an ordinary man would say. But we poets also look into people's souls. And things are not good. I saw a robbery sanctioned by law. Town watchmen laughing as they confiscated goods, all the while talking about how they'd finally bring order to the town. I saw drunken thugs beat up an elf woman while no one even flinched. I know these things happen everywhere, but here, it's not motivated by hatred or misguided attempts at meting out justice. People are driven by cold calculation. They're always looking for opportunities to get a little richer.
I need information. Anything that could help me track down the Kingslayers.
I only know gossip. Things folk have been saying since Demiven's death. People are throwing out blame left and right. One day it's the elves, another the Nilfgaardians, then it's Rivians.
Let me guess. The suspects also include a Zerrikanian alchemist and a group of halflings.
Bold theory, that. But the mob comes up with even better ones. Know what? Frankly, the most worrying effect of these assassinations is the chaos they've unleashed in people's minds.
What do you mean?
I mean chaos. People don't know what to think, who's good and who's evil. And these are tough times. Who knows what's going to happen?
So, Mr. Master Spy, what's new in the world of politics? Bards singing about anything interesting these days?
Aedirn's in trouble. Henselt and his great army are nearing the Pontar and will ford it and strike any day.
Wow, we haven't had a war in a long time.
Like all little boys, he likes to play with his soldiers. But I don't think Kedwin will have an easy time of it. Aedirn's borders are guarded by Saskia the Dragon Slayer.
Who's she? Some mercenary?
A peasant girl and self-proclaimed commander of something called the Aedirnian Voluntary Militia.
Fighting women and bards who play politics. These are strange times. I'm having flashbacks, Dandelion.
What have you remembered?
My own death.
I saw that with my own eyes, as I've told you many times. Yennefer gave her life to save yours. I thought you might have remembered what happened afterwards. I mean, how the devil can you be here now? I hear you, I see you, you're breathing. I mean, you're just alive.
Dandelion, I've had a flashback or two. I don't know everything yet. How's it living with Roach's soldiers?
Splendid. I know every shit joke that anyone's ever thought up. Plus, I've learned how to burp out the official title of the Emperor of Nilfgaard without reaching for beer. Shorty's told me about his 16 children, all named after Temerian troop divisions. And I know his nickname has nothing to do with his manhood. Nice to know that you care, though.
Glad to see you in a good mood.
I think I actually like them. They're good people. One of them even proposed to me.
Who's the brave man?
Sorry, that's a secret.
And here I thought Roach's boys had an ounce of respect for me. The massacre in Rivia, it came back to me, I remember. The angry mob murdering non-humans, a young boy with a pitchfork.
Anything else?
Death, or a state close to it, I'm not sure. I felt life draining out of me.
I was there. I arrived a moment later. Too late.
Don't worry, Triss. They're only memories. we have bigger problems to tackle now. Something tells me that in recovering my memory, I'll find out a lot about what we're dealing with now.
Good to see you, Zoltan. What are you doing so far from home?
It's a dog's life, Geralt, I'll tell you that much. You work your fingers to the bone for 6 years, you listen to the tirades of that old tyrant Breckenrig, you buy jewels. Then she breaks off the engagement. And there I was, learning a gavotte. Fuck it. Out of sight, out of mind. Farewell to Eudora, the forge in Novigrad, and all the world's Breckenrigs. I'm a plain merchant, and I've made my peace with that.
How are you killing time in this hellhole?
At present, polishing gems for Sheila de Tanserville. Requires precision, but it's well-paid work.
Jewelry?
Not quite. The sorceress is building a magical contraption. Spends her days staring at it. A regular magpie eyeing a copper. But I don't think she's getting anywhere with it. Got so enraged one time she dashed a vase against the wall. Some temperament, those sorceresses. I'm telling you.
Is there a good swordsmith or blacksmith here?
There's a small smithy by the wall. Quite basic. The tools probably remember the conjunction of the spheres, but it'll do for weapon repairs. They also enhance swords with runes, and add ornamentation to armor. Just don't do anything that'll make you look like Dandelion at the opening of a new brothel. You could also look in on some merchants. I don't think Laredo's robbed them of everything yet.
How are those biceps holding up, Zoltan?
Hard as a bull's bollocks. Arm wrestling's a dwarven pastime.
We ought to try it sometime.
I'll arm wrestle you anytime. Now, even.
Show me those bull's bollocks, then.
Your hand's like a vice.
It wasn't easy.
If you ever run into my old mates Yarpin or Sheldon, promise me you'll take them on. They'll be surprised.
Ha! Greetings. A word, if you will. You see, we've created an alchemical substance and we wish to test it in Vizima, in a laboratory. Seeing as you're a witcher, we wondered if you'd be willing to test it in practice. In a year or two, given the occasion, you could visit us in Vizima. We'd examine you and reward you generously. We need to study its long-term effects. We can't say more. Are you in?
Why not?
Splendid! Excellent. Now, if you could also keep a journal of the experiment. Don't overdo it.
What's going on, Geralt?
We arrived in Flotsam, we saw the killer, we've pissed everyone off. What next?
If the Kingslayer's in Jorved's care, we'll have to get them both.
If we go out into that forest to look for elves, all we'll find is our own death.
We'll visit Laredo as invited. He may be a hick heading a bunch of imbeciles, but this is his territory and he could prove useful.
How can the commander of a Temerian garrison just piss all over the commander of Foltest's special forces?
The Blue Stripes aren't exactly popular among common folk, in case you haven't noticed.
Like anyone who does the dirty work. But Laredo's a soldier.
The worst scum gets posted to dumpy border towns like this. Incompetent fools who show off their authority to a bunch of grimy peasants.
A little town deep in the forest, terrorized by Scoia'tael. You should be in your element, Roach.
Flotsam isn't just any old town, Geralt. Temeria, Redania, Kedwin, and Aedirn. The largest kingdoms in the north. Know what they all have in common?
The Pontar Valley. A strip of land they've been battling over for generations.
Exactly. And here's Flotsam, on the border between Temeria and Aedirn, with Kedwin lying in wait just the other side of the marshes.
At the very edge of the Pontar Valley.
Stuck in the middle like a candle up the arse.
The North's most important trade routes meet here. Every caravan has to come through Flotsam, and anyone who wants to place their cargo on a boat on this section of the river has to bear Laredo in mind.
They say Henselt of Kedwin has gathered an army and is heading for Vergen. The Pontar Valley will be on fire soon, while we, Geralt, are sitting in Flotsam, the gateway to the valley.
I'd like to believe it's pure coincidence and the killer just followed the squirrels here.
Naive to say the least, Witcher.
Some help, finally. I thought I was done for.
What's wrong?
I'm fine, but my friend remains in that damned hospital.
Cedric told me that 2 people went missing near the burnt mansion.
I'm Rupert Brandhuber. I'm a medic from Aedirn, and I came here with a friend to look for a very rare species of herbs.
These woods aren't the best place for herb picking.
So we were warned, but the temptation was too great. We got as far as the site of the fire. No sign of herbs, but there was something downstairs. Something... What's that? Can you hear it? That's Grindley's dog. Feel that? Something approaches.
Help us!
Leave me be! Away with you!
Control yourself.
It's not my fault. It wasn't me, not me.
What's not your fault?
Fire. Fire everywhere. It wasn't meant to happen. I didn't want that, I swear.
Won't get much out of you until I calm you down. Maybe the fire didn't consume everything. Maybe I can find some medicine, a sedative.
What's going on? Where am I?
Easy. Rupert asked me to find you.
Rupert lives.
Listen, you and your friend. I don't get it yet, but you aren't telling the truth. That's painfully apparent. This place seems to have a very dark past, one you had a hand in. Do you understand me?
Yes.
Great. So now you can tell me the story and don't skip a thing.
Story?
There's always a story, Gridley. Spit it out.
We're former soldiers, fought for Eden during one of the wars with Nilfgaard, times long past. I was Rupert's adjutant in the field hospital that our unit set up in this manor house. We didn't at all mind who lived here. In fact, the inmates were friendly. At the outset, that is. One day our scouts captured a Nilfgaardian. He was desperate to win his freedom and claimed he was part of a detachment that had concealed the booty looted in Eder. We couldn't believe our fortune. Thought the gods had smiled upon us. We'd heard incredible tales of this treasure, questioned any black one we'd captured. It seemed all our efforts would finally be rewarded. We decided to make him talk.
By torturing him?
Our commander wanted to break him on the wheel, but Rupert said he knew a better way. There's a local herb. If you brew and drink it, you can only tell the truth. The commander interrogated the prisoner, drawing a map in the process, and we celebrated. Talked of how we would divide the treasure, and took ever greater liberties with the patients. The priest looking after them began to protest, and one of our boys split his head open.
Nice, Gridley. Keep talking and I just might let you go alive and intact. What happened next?
Once the prisoner revealed where the treasure was hidden, the commander had him quartered in front of the lunatics. They'd shown signs of madness before. When they smelled blood, well, we could not control them. Many we simply had to cut down. I don't even know how the fire broke out.
Any of the patients survive?
A young woman we managed to pull from the burning building. She was nice, quiet and willing. 2 nights later she slit our commander's throat, and that was all we saw of her, and of the map, of course. The war was ongoing, and shifting fronts forced us to abandon our search for her soon after.
And here you are, back after many years. Really think you can still find her around here?
Life's not treated me well since then, and Rupert's had it even worse. This is our chance to reverse our fortunes. Fate smiled upon us once. Perhaps by some strange chance it still holds us in favor.
I wouldn't count on that. I think we're dealing with one heavy curse here. And it looks like we need to start by finding that Nilfgaardian's corpse.
A wolf leading wolves.
What do you want, Spectre? Their deaths?
2 of 20 return when none remain. Yet one shall judge them. If he is merciful, he will feed them to the dead. If he is cruel, he will grant them what they came for.
A prophecy. I should have expected as much.
Bring me their hearts, so I may feast on their cowardice. Bring me their eyes, so I may spit in them before they are forever extinguished.
Is that your offer? Fine. I'll lift this curse one way or another.
And?
I met the Nilfgaardian's ghost. Let's find your comrade.
Gridley, you live. What happened down there?
I found the ghost of the Emperor's soldier.
You're the Witcher. Get rid of it.
The ghost wants revenge. It brought you here to the scene of the crime. It'll lift the curse in return for you.
By the gods, you'll not help him, will you?
The ghost wants your hearts and your eyes.
Gods, you must trick him. Surely you know a way.
I could pull the hearts out of some neckers. Thing is, I'm wondering if it's worth it.
Witcher, I beg you, do what you must. Go see the butcher for some pig's eyes and hearts, anything. You'll not send us to a cruel death.
Pig hearts? I suppose there'd be some poetic justice in that.
You return.
With hearts and eyes. And now you'll swear an oath. Once I give you what I've brought, you'll release your hold on this place.
Not so fast, Witcher.
I want a pact. I want you to swear on this curse. Then keep your word, or your lust for revenge will go unsatisfied forever.
I'll trust you. Let shadows withdraw into darkness. Let madness be soothed. Let what has died be buried. Let this place that was cursed be so no more. Now, give me what you've brought. Fool, who knows not that the dead cannot be deceived. You sought to rob me of my revenge. Dog, you shall share the fate of those thieves.
I destroyed the Nilfgaardian soldier's ghost.
Thank you, Witcher.
The ruins are safe. Now get out of my sight.
But...
Leave before I change my mind.